The Law Society of Kenya is threatening to sue the law firm that won the Mau Mau case against the British government over victim compensation. In a letter dated 20th June, LSK is demanding the full list of beneficiaries and the amount to be awarded within 7 days, failure to which it will sue Lady Law Firm. The letter, signed by LSK Secretary Apollo Mboya, says their request stems from numerous inquiries by Mau Mau veterans asking whether they are listed as beneficiaries to the 2.6 billion shillings British compensation kitty. At least 5,200 Mau Mau veterans were listed in the lawsuit. Initially, Lady had indicated a face-to-face meeting with the Law Society of Kenya officials in July. But LSK is adamant that they have been unable to execute their mandate because the British firm has declined to release the list despite their previous request. LSK argues that a lawsuit is within its jurisdiction since the victims of torture are Kenyans living in Kenya and are to be paid in Kenya. Now, the war on drugs and alcohol abuse is gaining momentum across the country as administrators heed the presidential directive to curb the menace. In Meru, 2 suspects were arrested in possession of bhang as police unearthed a mini processing facility. While in Kisii South, a major raid by administration police netted thousands of liters of illicit brew. Catherine Omwanto has the latest on the war on drugs around the country.
In Rungu village in Igembe South, Meru County, county administrators led by David Kepkemei and Deputy OCPD Jasfat Chebei arrested 2 suspects, Julius Muturi and Julius Kaburu, after they were found packaging marijuana for distribution.
According to the information that is giving us is that they are just employees, but the real battlers are outside there.
During the crackdown, a woman who was suspected of being involved in the racket escaped before police officers forced their way into her house and found 200 grams of bhang. Elsewhere in Kisii South, administration police arrested 22 people suspected of brewing illicit brews and destroyed 87,000 liters of illicit brews. During the operation, the officers led by Kisii South District Commissioner Joseph Satya and Area Administration Police Commandant Moses Maritim impounded over 39,000 liters of Kangara from Bomokora, 27,000 liters of Busa from Bogiakumu, 21,000 liters from Ingonga, and 200 liters of Changa from Itibo villages respectively.
Area hii yetu kabla na baada ya uchaguzi tulikuwa tumeelekeza shughuli za kumaliza pombe haramu, lakini kuanzia juma lililopita tumegundua ya kuwa tuko na pombe haramu nyingi sana.
The operation also saw the arrest of 3 men in possession of bhang rolls with an estimated value of about 50,000 shillings. Catherine Omwando, KTN.
Elsewhere, police officers in Athi River have recovered electronics and other goods worth more than 10 million shillings that went missing on Thursday night when a trailer on transit was allegedly hijacked along Mombasa Road. The goods were found in an abandoned warehouse near Athi River town following the discovery. 2 workers found guarding the goods have been arrested, even as questions abound as to whether the truck was truly hijacked. Will Kestanyabo reports.
The trailer belonging to Monaca Transporters was headed to the Democratic Republic of Congo when it went missing. The truck driver thereafter reported a hijacking incident. The trailer would later be found abandoned along Mombasa Road with all goods missing.
Jana usiku ripoti ilifikia kuwa roli yetu imetekwa nyara na dereva hatukujua exactly ile ilikuwa ni gani.
The transport company reported the incident to police officers from Machakos, who began the search. The tracking system led them to a warehouse along Mombasa Road near Athi River town. Here they found the stolen goods in an abandoned warehouse. 3 workers found in the warehouse were arrested, as was the driver of the truck, who is suspected to have colluded with the hijackers. The goods recovered included various domestic appliances and other assorted goods that were destined for the DRC. Police officers say they are following a lead that could help them to get to the heart of the matter. The incident occurred barely 2 months after laptops worth millions were recovered in a warehouse in Athi River after they disappeared under similar circumstances. Wilkisanyabwa, KTN Newsdesk.
Let's go to Nyanza region, where police officers in Kisumu and its environs woke up today to dry taps at their residences and workplaces after the Kisumu Water and Sewage Company disconnected the water supply to 19 stations and several police quarters. The security forces say to owe the utility firm close to 5 million shillings, with some stations and police lines having bills dating as far back as November 2011. Sources within the force indicate that a powerful cartel has been seeking kickbacks before settling bills with service providers. Efforts to contact senior officers over the issue proved futile as they were unavailable.
This is the second time we're doing this operation. There's a time about last year we did the same thing, and we managed to get some bills paid on the same. So we are hoping that we'll not have to make the police suffer for a long time, because they offer essential services to the city.
The Kenya National Union of Nurses has rejected the move by the national government to devolve the health practitioners and their remunerations to county governments before clear structures are put in place. According to the Wasingishu branch of the union, a hurried devolution of the services without the necessary mechanisms in place will threaten their job security and may lead to a deterioration in the quality of services offered. Marcy Kandie with that report from Eldoret.
The Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret Town remains one of the key facilities within Uasin Gishu County. The constitutional move to devolve health facilities and its personnel to be under the county government has, however, faced objection by the Kenya National Union of Nurses in the region. The union says the county government at the moment has no capacity to manage personnel at the facility.
The county government has no capacity at the moment to actually absorb and manage nurses and its emoluments. We have been fighting the government for the last 15 years for payment, or rather for increase of salaries and some allowances, which has not been forthcoming.
The health personnel raised concern at the manner in which the Ministry of Health was releasing its personnel to the county governments without clear structures and guidelines put in place. They are now threatening to down their tools if the government will not look into the matter. The Cabinet Secretary in charge of Health, James Macharia, however, says the Constitution has to be implemented and that the government is committed to ensuring the devolved health facilities are fully functional.
You see, those workers already they were working in the counties. The only thing which is not there or could not be there is actually the payroll systems. But as they put those systems in place, us as the ministry, we shall proactively support them to make sure that the function, the human resources and everything else which goes with it is fully supported and is working well. So we are together with the governors and with the county governments to make sure that nothing changes in terms of service delivery.
James Macharia was officiating the opening of the Cardiac Care Center at the MTRH in Eldoret, a center that will care for the sharp rise in cardiovascular diseases across the country.
Now, the British government has expressed its commitment to support to the Kenyan security forces in boosting surveillance capability towards sea and border security. The British High Commissioner to Kenya, Dr. Christian Turner, said Britain was keen to partner with Kenyan security forces in the fight against terrorism, drug trafficking and piracy. The envoy made the remarks when he officially handed over a high-speed patrol boat to the Kenya Navy at the Mtongwe Navy headquarters in Mombasa. Kenya Navy Commander Major General Ngewa Nkala said the vessel will join a fleet of other patrol boats to boost security in and around the port of Mombasa.
And the security here on the coast in Kenya is a shared interest. A more secure Kenya is a more secure United Kingdom. And we are absolutely committed to working together to tackle the threat of terrorism of increasing regional stability. Handing over this vessel today is a small part of that effort, and it must be seen as part of a wider package that we are supporting on coastal and border security. That package has included the building of the pier, the launch pier at Kiangoni, a surveillance program to ensure that there is an aerial capability to spot any problems at sea, to which the vessel can then be mobilized, and of course also to build the capability. This is not just a one-off handover of a piece of equipment. There is a 3-year program of maintenance to make sure the vessel is properly maintained.
This asset you have donated to us will be put into a useful work, and especially protecting the port of Mombasa. It will begin the duty.
The Federal Party of Kenya leader Cyrus Jirongo and former Bumula lawmaker Bifoli Wakoli has asked the Luo community to support President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, despite the fact that majority of them did not vote for the Jubilee coalition in the March polls. Jirongo contested for the Kakamega County Senate seat, but was floored by Dr. Boni Halwale of the Amani coalition, whose leader Musalia Mudavadi later cobbled a post-election deal with the Jubilee Alliance.
Wapende wasipende, Uhuru ni rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Na leo kama Raila anatafuta kitu, kama Kalonzo anatafuta kitu, anaenda kwa Uhuru. Ile ambalo nawaambia, hakuna haja ya kwenda kwa namba 2 ile ungeenda kuomba namba 1. Hakuna haja kwa kwenda kuomba mtu wa upinzani yule anaenda kuomba rais wa taifa. Kwa hivyo kama tuna jambo lolote tunataka kama jamii, tutafute njia ya kuuliza rais ambayo anatawala directly.
Lazima tushirikiane pamoja, tuwe kitu kimoja, ndio tuongee maneno ya kuwa na president. Bure, we are wasting our time. Mimi ni chairman wa Fort Kenya Bungoma County. I have not yet resigned, I have not defected. But when it comes to the Luo issues pertaining to the Luo unit, I will put my religion down, I will put my party aside and forge for the Luo unit. That is the only time these other communities will respect us.
From politics to some celebratory news, and last night was a special night at the Standard Group as our sister radio station relaunched with a lineup of new programming and news content as its listenership continues to grow. Standard Group staff and Radio Maisha fans thronged the Carnival restaurant for a night of entertainment as they ushered in the new look station that came with a complete new tagline, Tuko Pamoja. Speaking at the colorful launch last evening, the Standard Group CEO Sam Shelley said Radio Maisha has also expanded its coverage to reach more listeners in and around Kericho, Eldoret, Kapenguria and Kisii. These are additions to other 5 regions that the station has been covering since its launch 3 years ago. The station's new slogan emphasizes its new direction of being with listeners at every moment of their lives. Kudos to Radio Maisha. Leading cream liquor Baileys has unveiled a new look in the Kenyan market with a slimmer, trendier bottle replacing its original packaging. The bottle was relaunched or launched at an exclusive event in Nairobi, where its unveiling was a first for this market. A 3D projection against teleposter towers in the central business district that ensured the image of the new bottle was viewed widely across the city. With a longer neck and higher shoulders, the new bottle takes a more feminine form but retains its original content, in line with the Bailey's tradition of providing quality Irish cream liquor to its consumers. Speaking during the launch, Kenya Breweries Limited Managing Director Joe Muganda said the new bottle was launched in response to the changing trends in the market, which have seen the rise of a highly discerning middle class looking for more affinity and greater aesthetic connection to their favorite brands. are indeed watching KTN Live at 1 with me, Eric Njoka. Time for a short break. See you back shortly.
Does your husband shed me some whitening? Just use a little Jik and some water. With Jik, 101 uses, all your cleaning troubles are over. Is there a dirty floor stain that's frightening? Or a messy mess left by your daughter? Is your stove no longer so shiny? Or your grill is dirty as ever? Just Jik it. There are 101 uses. Just Jik it. It makes cleaning a chore. Just Jik it. Hey, you better go get it. Just Jik it. Jik whitens white, removes stains, and kills germs. Now try all 101 uses of Jik. Jik, now in an attractive new pack. Just Jik it.
We, the umbrella body of the Catholic Bishops of Kenya, have been known as the Kenya Episcopal Conference, KEC. After consultation and approval by the Holy See, we have rebranded to Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, KCCB. KCCB, the umbrella body of the Catholic Bishops of Kenya.
Unlike aerosols that can leave you disappointed, the Airwick Freshmatic automatically brings life to the air around you with its rich and captivating scent. Just one refill lasts as long as 65 aerosol cans. There's something in the Airwick.
Every day our hands pick and transfer germs from different surfaces to us. Even hands that look clean can have lots of unseen germs. Kids, go wash your hands now. And because soaps are usually shared by more than one person, they can become dirty, leading to multiple germ transfer. That's why I prefer to use Dettol Liquid Hand Wash. Every drop is pure because it's untouched by other hands. Dettol Liquid Hand Wash gives 10 times more protection against germs that cause diarrhea and other infectious diseases, leaving hands hygienically clean. For a healthy family, use Dettol Antibacterial Hand Wash. Dettol, in partnership with the Kenya Medical Association. Be 100% sure.
Charles Kizito, a lecturer and civil servant, who was pleasantly surprised to discover that Faulu had products for him.
Faulu came in when I had a project, and in fact I can say they have made me feel good because that project is like almost complete. So I need maybe like now around maybe 300,000. If I'll get that, then I'll go into my house which I was building in the rural home. In fact, Faulu has been a bridge to success. And Faulu's interest rates are also affordable.
Faulu loans for civil servants, TSC, parastatals and disciplined forces are now at 12% per annum with up to 60 months repayment period and processed in just 24 hours. Faulu, your bridge.
These eyes witnessed torture and murder as Kenya struggled to become an independent nation. Now the Mau Mau veterans' songs of morale during the emergency celebrate compensation from the British government. They are on a new path now, one that has been trodden on before.
The people paid were close to 2,000.
One other community has been compensated for ills perpetrated against them. Join me, Carol Nderi, on KTN as we delve into matters compensation.
Thank you very much for staying with KTN. Welcome back to KTN Live at 1 with me, Eric Njoka. On the international front, Philippines on Friday destroyed 5 tons of ivory tusks in a bid to discourage illegal ivory trade in the country. Listed as a major transit point, the Philippines heavy machinery crushed the smuggled ivory tusks in the custody of the Philippines Wildlife Bureau. The destroyed tusks, which were mostly sourced from poached African elephants and seized between the years 2005 and 2009, are worth up to $2,000 per kilogram on the black market. This act is a strong statement to the rest of the world that the Philippines is serious and will not tolerate illegal wildlife trade. Ivory tusks seized in the Philippines are destroyed by environment officials in a bid to discourage illegal trade.
Through this symbolic action, more people will be made aware of the implications that the ivory is not just ivory, especially here in the Philippines. We don't have elephants. They need to realize that ivory is contraband.
The trade of illegal wildlife, including ivory, is punishable in the Philippines by a jail term of 12 years and a fine of up to 2 million Philippine pesos. That's about $22,800. Conservation experts say illegal ivory trade is hastening the decline of Africa's endangered elephant and rhinoceros populations, and states must be held accountable. Illegal ivory trade has tripled since 1998, said a report from the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES, held in Bangkok last March. CITES threatened to slap trade sanctions on 8 nations found to have failed in cracking down adequately on the illegal ivory market, namely Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand, and China, and demanded from them a plan of action for curbing the trade across and within their borders. About 17,000 elephants were illegally killed in 2011, according to a CITES-led project monitoring Africa's elephant population, which also said the situation had not improved in the subsequent years. Attacks against Chinese business owners are on the rise in Cameroon, while more than 200 Chinese miners have been recently arrested in Ghana, calling into question the future of China's huge investment in the African continent. Here's the rest of the story.
A once thriving community of Chinese mine workers lies silent. Over recent weeks, Ghanaian authorities have arrested and repatriated at least 200 they accuse of working illegally and cashing in on the West African nation's rich seam of gold deposits.
We want to make this very clear that small-scale mining is prohibited to foreigners. It's a principle of Ghanaians, and so it doesn't matter which part of the world you come from.
The miners think otherwise. They suspect the arrests were racially motivated.
At that night, the soldier has just come to here and spoiled every doors and catch every Chinese. It doesn't matter if they are financial worker or another job. They just come to here. Their duty is catch the Chinese.
Africa's rich natural resources have been snapped up by China in recent years to fuel its massive economic growth, and a huge diaspora of small traders and migrants have come to the continent in the wake of the big contracts. And it's this migration, especially where local jobs are threatened, that has caused friction. In Cameroon, Chinese businesses have recently been targeted and 2 Chinese killed.
When was it? It was in April. We closed for a week because of the lack of security. There were thugs going into people's houses, a lot of bad stuff. At about 7 o'clock, they went into the shop and killed people.
Across Africa, Chinese money is building roads, dams, stadiums, even entire towns, like this one in Angola. A week-long visit in March by Chinese President Xi Jinping underlined the importance of Africa to China's economy. Incidents like those in Ghana and Cameroon, while still marginal, are threatening, though, to sour the Sino-African marriage, even before the honeymoon is over.
Now to a stunning video of a toddler falling 5 stories to the street below in China, only to be saved by a passers-by. And it was all caught on camera. Take a look.
An incredible rescue in Zhejiang, China. Taking a break from work, a group of couriers hear crying. They look up. To their horror, they see a 2-year-old girl on the ledge outside a window, 5 floors up. The whole sequence caught on a security camera of...
On the international front, Philippines on Friday destroyed 5 tons of ivory tusks in a bid to discourage illegal ivory trade in the country. Listed as a major transit point, the Philippines heavy machinery crushed the smuggled ivory tusks in the custody of the Philippines Wildlife Bureau. The destroyed tusks, which were mostly sourced from poached African elephants and seized between the years 2005 and 2009, are worth up to $2,000 per kilogram on the black market.
This act is a strong statement to the rest of the world that the Philippines is serious and will not tolerate illegal wildlife trade. Ivory tusks seized in the Philippines are destroyed by environment officials in a bid to discourage illegal trade.
Through this symbolic action, more people will be made aware of the implications that the ivory is not just ivory, especially here in the Philippines. We don't have elephants. They need to realize that ivory is contraband.
The trade of illegal wildlife, including ivory, is punishable in the Philippines by a jail term of 12 years and a fine of up to 2 million Philippine pesos. That's about $22,800. Conservation experts say illegal ivory trade is hastening the decline of Africa's endangered elephant and rhinoceros populations, and states must be held accountable. Illegal ivory trade has tripled since 1998, said a report from the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES, held in Bangkok last March. CITES threatened to slap trade sanctions on 8 nations found to have failed in cracking down adequately on the illegal ivory market, namely Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand, and China, and demanded from them a plan of action for curbing the trade across and within their borders. About 17,000 elephants were illegally killed in 2011, according to a CITES-led project monitoring Africa's elephant population, which also said the situation had not improved in the subsequent years.